am a pansexual, polyamorous, non-binary,
pansexual, polyamorous, non-binary, vegan.
I would give myself a realistic 6.5. Okay.
Oh my God.
Rude and Andrew.
Okay.
Trifling.
Oh wait, I wasn't muted? I'm sorry.
Yeah, dude, we could hear. We heard that, Andrew.
Oh, I'm sorry about that, man.
We can see you too.
I was laughing at something my chat said.
If you don't agree with my 6.5, that's okay. That's your opinion.
I was reading about the 4B movement and hearing all these stories about how women just like their lives have improved so much since cutting out men entirely. And I was like, maybe I should do this. You know, like test it out. See how it feels. But then I like got real honest with myself and I was like, if I did this, if I cut out men completely out of my life, no dating, no sex, no marriage, no nothing, I know deep down I'd be doing it in the hopes of meeting a guy when I like least expect it. You know?
It's absolutely hilarious that you can do a half-assed movement where you're considering whether you want to leave these so-called boogeymen who are called men to you guys, and whether you want to engage in this thing so that you can follow through with the things that you believe in. These are the same feminists who claim that they don't need men, yet when it comes to the case of having to engage in sex, all of a sudden they need to engage with these types of men. We get it. You guys can't even keep up with the movement that you create, but apparently you don't need men.
How would you explain to them why you should have an assault rifle?
What is an assault rifle?
Big gun that you shouldn't have.
What is the definition of an assault rifle? If you're going to tell me I don't need something, you better have the definition.
Well, is that how it works?
What is an assault rifle?
It's a... I'm being honest. I don't know what the exact dictionary definition.
Let's talk about what.
No,
Yourself
don't put it on your fucking YouTube channel.
We will check it out at Liberty Hangout.
Goes crazy at stupid conservative girl.
That's a good time.
As I've said, they go to universities and colleges to get all of that education, and when they use a term, they don't even know what the term that they're using even means. But yeah, they're apparently educated.
What concerns have you had about speaking out?
That I'm gonna be like murdered. Like one day I'm gonna be walking down the street and somebody's gonna come up and like shoot me or something.
That's a really scary thing to be worrying about at 10 years old.
Yeah, that should not be a worry.
Michelle, what's going through your mind as you hear your daughter say this?
It's just hard to hear her say that. And she asked me three questions after she heard who won the election. Are we gonna have to move? Are they gonna take me away from you? And am I not gonna be able to get my medicine? It's frightening.
We've seen Republicans put a lot of money and energy into transgender issues. More than $200 million were spent this election cycle in anti-trans ads. What does that feel like to have so much attention by all these politicians on your identity?
It makes me feel like they think we're puppets that they can play with, and it's just so wrong.
I can guarantee you this kid did not come up with all of this nonsense on his own. It was obviously the parent who taught him to believe in this nonsense, and now he's going ahead on social media and on all these media outlets to speak about all of this nonsense when we all know it's a lie.
A woman who trains the hardest versus a man who trains the hardest.
Well, then it would depend how much you're born with natural talent in it. And that's dependent on every person, not gender.
Who currently holds the world record for...
Don't know.
If I told you it was a man?
Then on that standpoint, then he was that during that moment.
You do realize that the world record holder for the women's 100-meter sprint, she wouldn't even qualify to compete with the men. You understand this, right?
I don't watch running.
But so I've just presented to you with a fact.
I think that partially has to do with expectations. All throughout time.
Expectations?
Let's take gymnastics for an example. Gymnastics used to be a much simpler sport than it is today. But as sports develop...
Running, point A, point B, straight line, as fast fast as you can. What?
I'm getting there.
The expectations of the 100-meter sprint.
Very.
And this video right here is a perfect example of being educated does not mean you're smart. Because if you can go to university and come out believing that men and women are the same physically, you're an idiot. Before we get back into the video, make sure you guys like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel, hit the bell so that you're notified when one of my videos come out. Also subscribe to my new channel, Yinka Unfiltered, which will be linked in the description down below. Follow me on Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok at YinkaThatGuy, and let's get back into the video.
This is exactly what they don't understand. They keep saying, oh, the exemptions, the exemptions. Doctors are not going to perform any procedure if they're going to end up in jail for it. Their daughters are going to die alongside ours.
I just want to let you know that doctors are not ignoring women who have miscarriages. You have to be stupid to actually believe in this, but hey, these people are stupid.
I'm worried about slavery. You see, Donald Trump has promised to deport all of these immigrants, and that's just a physical impossibility by way of like math and moving humans. But you know what he could do? He could make being here illegally an offense that you can incarcerate one over, and then under the 13th Amendment, he could make them work for free. So yeah, I'm worried about slavery. You know what?
You have got to be kidding me.
Any last words? You've been fantastic. I'll see you again, never. Ah! Here it goes. Oh my god. Oh, this is amazing. This is so cool. This is one of those deeply satisfying video points.
Oh yes. Just that is yours.
It's like confetti. The worst confetti ever.
Do you want to keep this?
I kind of do.
Of course. Okay. So I anticipated that.
I want to take it home and show it to my wife. She's aware that this is happening and she's super excited. She was like, oh babe, you're going to look so good with a buzzed head.
Right now, in Australia.
But you're still supporting the murder, that's the thing.
I really don't think... I don't think so.
I think you're a bit dense.
You think I'm dense?
Yeah.
You're looking pretty dense yourself, I'm sorry to say. But,
Don't fucking fat shame my friend.
get the fuck out of here.
Fuck.
Fucking fatty, get the fuck off. Fuck away from me. Fuck off. Get the fuck off.
The more you fuck around, the more you're gonna find out.
Legal doesn't mean ethical. So whether you're saying that your ancestors came here and legally committed genocide, or that they came later and immigrated legally according to American laws, this is a great time to talk about how incredibly and explicitly racist legal immigration in America has traditionally been. And why, for hundreds of years, while your family could immigrate to the United States, mine could not legally immigrate here until 1965. There's a few laws we're going to talk about. The Naturalization Act of 1790, the Chinese Exclusion Act of 1882, the Immigration Act of 1917, the Immigration Act of 1924, and finally, the Immigration and Nationality Act of 1965. The Naturalization Act of 1790 stated that only white Americans could be naturalized into citizens. That is the foundation of all immigration in the United States, that ultimately only white people could be citizens. The first Immigration Act to actually bar anyone else from coming was the Chinese Exclusion Act, which, as you can guess, banned Chinese people from immigrating to the United States. Now, the Immigration Acts of 1917 and 1924 are really important. The 1917 Act created an Asiatic barred zone, which basically said that anyone from any of these countries could not immigrate to the US. Now, 1924, things get really interesting. And a quota system per country is created. And this quota system is based off of previous census data. Here's an old New York Times article talking about the new act. It says, effect of new immigration legislation described by Senate sponsor of the bill is to preserve racial type as it exists here today. And through these quotas, Germany could have 67,000 immigrants a year, Italy 42,000, Russia 24,000. But the entirety of Asia got 1,066 visas, and the entirety of Africa, the continent, got 122 visas. So basically, to legally immigrate into the United States until 1965, you just had to be white. Now,
when it's time for you to let people you don't know come into your house, then we can talk about all of this legal and illegal nonsense that you keep talking about. Until then, what you're saying is complete stupidity.
They're dropping like flies. I lost another one of my clients today who clearly was a Trump supporter. And they sent me a message. They never cancel their appointment. They don't have the courage to cancel their appointment. And it's just fucking rude. But anyway, she messaged me after I had messaged her, like, hey, I had you done at 3, just making sure you're on your way. I'm making sure you're okay. And she wrote back, Dear Tiffany, spelled my name wrong. I am so sorry that this last election has upset you so much as to elicit the hateful public post you made on TikTok. Not once, but twice. I have really thought highly about you, and your posts have broken my heart. Since you have made it clear how you feel about anyone who doesn't share your opinion, I feel you have left no opinion but for me to move on. I wish you the best, and I am terribly sorry. So, just continuing to lose clients, and I would rather go work at Chipotle, and I was not lying when I said that I was headed to my Chipotle interview, because I did apply to Chipotle, because I'm not going to ask for a handout, and it's been a rough year. I'm a single mom, and my ex-husband does help me out a lot during this time because I refuse to ask for help. But I would rather go and do what I need to do and work at Chipotle after my 22-year career in this industry and refuse to let people feel comfortable in my space to support racism, homophobia, and misogyny, and a rapist. I would rather go work there than have people feel comfortable in my space with that and that mentality. So again, I'm reaping what I sow. I am suffering the consequences of my own actions, but I stand by what I said. I absolutely stand by what I said. And so if you see me working at Chipotle as a business owner and a salon owner of 22 years, say hi. Be kind, because this life is fucking hard.
Oh no, if it isn't the consequences of my actions, damn.
I hate to break it to you boys, but if she sleeps with you on the first date, that is not a good sign. She does not want something long-term with you. You're maybe just trying to get over someone, fun night, she finds you attractive. If she waits and makes you wait, she wants to marry you.
Girl math is sleeping with the guy that you apparently don't like on the first date, and if you do like him, you make him wait. Make it make sense.
A lot of our holiday traditions this time of year are built around nostalgia, which lend themselves to little sentimental items such as ornaments with people's names or photos and other keepsakes like that. So I don't know which of you needs to hear this, but if you have a trans person in your life this holiday season, be mindful of those sentimental items and let them decide what to do. For example, my partner and I have a couple of Christmas ornaments that have our photos and my dead name on them. When we were getting out the ornaments, he picked out one of them and looked at me and just said, "What do you want to do with this?" For me, I appreciated that he, one, checked in with me before just deciding to hang it on the tree himself, and two, let me decide what to do with it. Ultimately, I decided I wanted to keep it, but I wanted to store it in the box. And that was that. Happy holidays, everyone.
Why in the blue hell are your nails so long for? And I just wanted to let you know that I do not care, and we do not care what you have to say.
The good news is that men hate us.
We do not care.
being drawn by the statute. That was sort of like the starting point. The question was whether it was discriminatory because it applied to both races and it wasn't, necessarily invidious or whatever. But, as I read the statute here, the case here, the court starts off by saying that Virginia is now one of 16 states which prohibit and punish marriages on the basis of racial classifications. And when you look at the structure of that law, it looks in terms of, you can't do something that is inconsistent with your own characteristics. It's sort of the same thing. So it's interesting to me that we now have this different argument, and I wonder whether Virginia could have gotten away with what they did here by just making a classification argument the way that Tennessee is in this case.
Yes, I think that's exactly right, that there is absolutely a parallel between any law that says you can't act inconsistent with a protected characteristic and in all other contexts.
Yes, there are people this stupid. Why even play with a team that your values don't align with, and you believe all of these atrocities happened with this country, yet you don't take any action to actually step away from this country and go to a place where you feel you're loved? I know I'm saying all of this and I don't really expect anything logical to come out of people who are this stupid.
Well, I have a 17-year-old trans son, and he came out when he was like 12 or 13, and it's been a long process, but he's doing really well, and I just want to keep my right to privacy and parental freedom in terms of making choices that are best for him.
So has your son undergone any kind of hormonal or surgical interventions?
He did have to wait a long time. He went to therapy and all of that, and saw doctors and all that, and he just started that a year ago.
Decided yes or no?
Yes, he has.
Okay, wow. And what age did that begin?
16.
So you're here to defend the rights of parents to transition their children?
No, parents would not be transitioning their children. I am defending the rights of parents to make the best medical decisions for their children.
So if parents aren't transitioning their children, who are?
The children are transgender, and the parents are supporting them to be their true selves.
Aren't you engaging in the hormonal and surgical interventions? You're paying for them, helping your child do this?
I mean, yes, as I would with any medical treatment for my child.
We're just wondering, because we're here talking about this case. A lot of people think that children shouldn't be able to do that until they're 18, given that a lot of these procedures are irreversible.
The hormone therapy isn't really irreversible. His voice would remain deeper, but otherwise it would be reversible. And I honestly thought that would be the case with us too, that we would wait, but after years of therapy and all of that, we decided to go forward. So that's the whole point, is it's a decision that parents make with doctors and therapists in the best interest of the child. So I decided after the years of therapy that it was fine to go ahead and not necessarily have to wait to 18, but initially that was my feeling too.
So if your son comes to you in 20 years and is like, Mom, why did you let me do this? I wasn't at the age of consent yet. What are you going to tell him?
I'm going to tell them we made the best decision that we could at the time, and that we didn't take it lightly, and that's...
What if he's like, I don't have breasts, I can't breastfeed my children any day. Like, I realize I'm actually a woman, and now I'm never going to be able to breastfeed my kids.
I don't know. I've bottle fed and breastfed, and I think that he'll be okay. That's kind of the least of my worries at this point.
So it's like not that big of a deal to you?
No, it's a huge deal. That's why it took a long time to make the decision. So you have to weigh their mental health and make the best decisions you can, like you would do with any decision for your child.
And at 12, how did your child even know about gender concepts?
Actually, it was a gradual thing. At first, at 12, he just was questioning if he was attracted to women or men. So it wasn't like he came at 12 and said,
12? Wow.
Transgender. That's how the conversation started, and it developed over the years. So.
Do you start the conversation?
I did not.
I have a 12-year-old brother. I don't think he's ever talked to me about who he's attracted to.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, he brought it up to me, so...
This is absolutely insane. I don't know how in the blue hell you believe in your right mind that a 12-year-old knows whether they're in the wrong body or not. It's more than likely you're the one who influenced them to believe in the nonsense that they believe in, and now they've come to the conclusion that they can change their gender when we all know it's all nonsense. We have grown adults who can't even comprehend common sense and what is true and what is a lie, that they begin to influence their children into believing the stupidity that they end up believing in.